and they actually reached out to me to organize this one for tonight. So that's where this match is coming from, and they're a good group of guys, and I'm excited to see how they do on this one. Let's lead right into talking about Team Cringe first. What do you think we're going to see out of these guys?
Well, on Team Cringe, this team sits around 4K. They've been together for about 8 months. As you said, they've been together for a while now. You reaching out to Cash for them. Their favorite playstyle is the triple and quad tank and is led by Captain Waya. Waya is the main tank on Reinhardt, followed by Quiet Josh on Flex Tank with a preference for Diva. After the tanks, we've got the DPS Body and one Body on the Tracer, and one who just joined the team this week, actually, will be playing McCree. Last but not least, we have the lovely supports, Gunther and Bofoeki. Bofoeki as the main heals, with a special place in their heart for Ana, with Gunther being the second support, bringing in the pain, heals, and emotional guidance for troubled cyborgs, Zenyatta. How about Powerhouse Prime there, Kenobi?
Well, thank you, Loctite. It's good to be here and good to talk about Powerhouse Prime here. They sit around that 4K average, as you said, a little bit close to Team Cringe, and they have only been together for 2 months, so a little bit less time to synchronize and get all those communications out of the way. Their favorite team comp is Deathball, like to run that Moira Meatball Slambulance combo, which is going to be led by their main tank, Wombo Combo, on preferring the big German Hammerman Reinhardt. Next to him, we're going to have Fossman X on the Diva, on the off tanks. As for your DPS players, we're going to have Reaper Codex on the McCree hit scan. And then, rounding out the DPS, we have Superior Pen on the projectile DPS, likes to play some of that Theyre. Rounding it out on the supports, we have Zenyatta, played by Max and all the other flex supports. And we're going to end it off with Dinnerit on the main support, who likes to play some Lucio. So look for some wall riding and some good booping.
Oh, and looking forward to it. I am. We're on the first map on I forget what this map is called, but it has a lot of Lijiang Tower. Yes, thank you for the reminder. But a lot of great boop and environmental kill spots here.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what these comps do. We'll see if Powerhouse Prime is gonna be able to just run that death ball on this kind of map, because sometimes this map might be a little bit too open, but if you get into that little house, into that big tower on the side, you might be able to get a lot of damage. And with Moira's healing, Moira in those meatballs, Slambulance combos can do so much healing output.
Oh, without a doubt. And 1 second. All right, we're right into the match. Both teams using that Lucio to get as fast to the point as they can. Looks like Team Cringe is going to be taking more of a main approach.
And it's going to be interesting to see here as Team Cringe is taking the Theyre and the Mercy, which is interesting. You haven't seen a lot of Mercy except with the Theyre after all these nerfs, but with Theyre, I believe she does still have a place in the meta, and we'll see how it's going to be able to handle. But she does go down here, which is a really big issue.
Yes, Max pumping out that damage, taking care of the Theyre, but she's going to get rezzed on the backlines by the Mercy, completely ignored. And Team Powerhouse Prime is getting pushed right off of the map. They're getting picked off one by one, and this is not a fight that's looking good for them.
And while Mercy did fall off with all those nerfs a little bit, Rez is still a very, very good move, just even though it's only every 30 seconds. Body went down there, was able to get back up by the Mercy, and able to put out a lot of damage, and is already almost at an ultimate.
Yeah, and Body was doing great work there, charging up that ultimate as well. And there it's popped, but it's getting destroyed by Frostmanx on Diva. A great counter there, and they're going to be heading right on to the point with Max's ult Transcendence.
Yeah, Frostmanx and Waya there did a really, or Frostmanx and Wombo combo did a really good job there in blocking the Theyre. Frostmanx was there with the defense matrix there, but Wombo combo also did put a shield down, which ate up a little bit of the damage.
Indeed, indeed, and we're seeing a great team fight coming in. Body is already back after getting killed. Just ult after ult. Ooh, and the Diva Bomb comes out from Frostmanx, finds Waya. They have the 4v6 scenario. Are they gonna take advantage and win this?
I'm not sure. Body did go down there, and it looks like the health bars on the side of Team Cringe are a little bit higher. However, Powerhaus Prime comes in with a lot of good damage. As I say to commentators curse, and they're going to be able to wipe this point and get the point back. Maybe just a lonely Winston on the point. He's not long for this world at all. And it looks like Powerhaus Prime is going to be able to start finally getting some percentage on their attack.
Yes, they're going to start, but Kringe has already gotten to 65%. Not a bad job for such a short hold.
The Valkyrie does come out here, and I'm going to look out for Powerhaus Prime to try and get this Theyre out of the sky, and as well as the Valkyrie Mercy. But Superior Pen goes down, and that's all their hits down. Body's going to just have free reign now to just walk to the point and just do as much damage as he wants.
Whoa, and that was a bit weird there. The Mercy getting the res onto Wyatt, but I didn't see her anywhere near 5. Maybe it was something on my end. Did you see that as well?
I didn't see that, but I do see Body here with a self-destruct that doesn't do much as it was Matrix.
Oh.
However, Body has only 10 health left, really low, but one is in the backline trying to do as much damage as he can. Maybe get a pulse bomb here, not even needing it. Gonna just try and push them back, use the recall, and is gonna be able to take this point for King Espurts.
Can I just say the Tracers, the main people that have stuck out for me this round, the Tracers and the Winstons. Oh my gosh, the huge damage coming in from the Tracer, followed up by the amazing follow-up capabilities of the Winston. It's just been great this round from both teams.
Yeah, dive still is really good, even though it's not played as much as we used to see. It used to be all dive all the time, but dive, when worked correctly with that Winston, Genji, Tracer, all those dive people can really work well. And it looks like Kringe Espurts is going to be able to take the first point here. Get a good 1-0's lead, good for them.
Without a doubt, I feel like Team Powerhaus Prime's fall there was they were not paying enough attention to the Mercy, who just kept getting reses off all the time during these big team fights.
Yeah, and I was really kind of shocked at the end there that Superior Pen did switch over to the Genji. I mean, Genji is a good hero, and if they're going to run full dive like their team comp suggests right now, it might be good, but you still need a soldier or a certain type of hit scan to get that, but it looks like they're going to try and match with their own pharmacy here.
5, 4.
Ooh, and what a combo this will be. I love watching two teams both run Theyre Mercy, because you see those Theyre fights up in the air, and it's like whenever one Theyre gets 2 direct hits onto the other, it's just that great moment.
Yeah, this is really the map for it too. This is the map where you always see in Overwatch League, you see the pharmacy battles. It's Quiet Josh does kill Wombo combo. Fazimax, D-Max, Quiet Josh, and Body is doing a lot of damage, more so than his counterpart on the Theyre on the other end. And it looks like Team Kringe Espurts is going to be able to take this point.
And they're going to be taking this point, and Body and Superior Pen are going to be coming to fight.
God.
Oh, what a snipe! Beautiful shot. I was paying close attention to that fight.
And that's really unfortunate because Body has to Body doing a great job there, but Superior Pen goes down, and that's definitely not what you want. It is a little bit of a stagger, and that's some more charge building up, and already Body has his ultimate, winning this Theyre Mercy battle. The ult does come out there from Theyre. It doesn't do much as Body does go down, but it looks like the rest of Kringe Espurts is going to be able to clean it up. That's a ballsy red from Bofeki, but it does end up working. Body goes down to 80. One direct hit from Superior Pen is going to kill him, and Bofeki is not there in time. Highly unfortunate.
Yes, Superior Pen is pulling out some great shots here on the Theyre, but his team just isn't there to follow it up.
Theyre on this point, Body is just doing such a good job of winning this Theyre battle. Superior Pen hasn't done much, it only has ult, and already Body is at 20% to a new one. But Body's pretty low on the ground, which is never what you want to be as a Theyre, especially when you don't have your Mercy. And Superior Pen just solo ults him, but Gunter gets the return kill. Bofeki's going to be able to revive Body, and nothing really of value is lost there except for Wade.
Oh, but Red is filling up the chat here. The Diva Bomb is dropped, but everyone will hide from it. They find cover. And it's just the Tracer. Waya.
Waya there. Only one to go down. The Lone Monkey. It looks like he's okay now. He's going to be back on the point with his friends. His Body and Superior Pen still try to have this dual Superior Pen on the going into the point. Hopefully gonna get some damage. Does get max, but Superior Pen actually gets gun through there. Trades of the Lucios from the Theyre. Valkyrie does come out though.
The Valkyrie comes out in blue and red. It's just constant trade-offs in the chat. Frostmake's doing a great job with Wombo Combo falling close behind on the kills.
Quiet Josh here is going to try and bunny blast his way back into a mech, but he's not going to be able to get it as Lucio does boop him out of existence. And it looks like they're going to just be fighting to try and get this point down. It's 3-1 right now on contestation, and looks like Powerhaus Prime is going to be able to hold this, and 99%, definitely the most valuable you are on any of these maps.
And some lag coming in. 4-1 there, falling off the edge of the map. But if it wasn't, it was a great job nonetheless to regroup with his team.
Looks like Body's going to hit a huge ult here onto everyone. Quiet Jet, but does leave himself vulnerable to Superior Pen. That's always something you have to look at, is that Superior Pen is going to be able to just shoot you since you're in the air, still as a Theyre with that rocket barrage. As we see Reaper Codex here trying to do some work on his Tracer.
Oh, but the ults are coming out from Kringe. They're finding a lot of kills here. It is very blue side favor. So, oh, but one finds a huge stick onto the Winston, taking out Superior Pen as well at the same time.
Yeah, Reaper Codex is going to end up going down there as it's just Max on the point, being the lone Lucio trying his best, but he's very low. And then we're going to change back to Foes Max, who has his bunny in case he needs to self-destruct and get some health back, but he might not be able to live. However, the sound barrier does come out. He will be able to get back into mech just fine.
And Superior Pen is back on the point, putting some focus on that Mercy, not making her life easy.
See Reaper Codex here, try to get the Pulse Bomb, misses. I don't know if it was eaten or if it just missed it all, but Reaper Codex is going to do his best to try and kill. He gets Leia there, and let's see if he can do anything else. The Theyre Barrage comes in, gets the Vofeki on the Mercy. That's huge. That's a really big person they don't have. They have no res. However, Body is still on the point doing his best, and he kills Reaper Codex, and they might be able to hold this Powerhaus Prime just a little bit longer to win the game.
It's not looking good for Kringe. They only have one push left here. They gotta group up. They gotta really put some focus on Superior Pen. He's been a real powerhouse when it comes to stopping their pushes.
Yeah, Waya does have his Primal Rage in case he needs it. As the Valkyrie does come out, and Waya's gonna just use that Primal Rage to try and boot people and do some damage, get people off of the point. Let's see if he can actually do something here. He's just bouncing around, trying to do his best. One does go down with the Pulse Bomb. That's something they don't have. Ofeki's going to try and res, but doesn't get there in time. It's going to be Body here just trying to do as much poke damage as he can, but he's getting booped as well. They're zoning them off the point expertly here. Powerhaus Prime doing their best, and it looks like they might have done what they needed to win here.
Round 2, loss.
Wow, yes, they did without a doubt. Wombo Combo and Superior Pen pulling out some great plays there to take their team home and make it 1-1.
Yeah, and it looks like it was interesting because it looked like that kind of map is usually where we talk about the Theyre Mercy duels, and looked for the majority of that point that Body had won the battle against Superior Pen. However, there were a bunch of other people from Powerhaus Prime who were doing their jobs just as well and just as nicely, and were able to counteract that potential loss that Superior Pen was going to have on the Theyre.
5, 4.
Great team play coming in from Powerhaus Prime. They've been together for 2 months, so it's kind of expected. But then you've got Kringe with the 8 months together. You'd really expect them to have more of that team play going on.
And it looks like they're going to try and do a little bit of a death ball here. 3 tanks, a Junkrat, and 2 healers, the 2 big healers that you always see with Mario. Body does kill Superior Pen. That's huge. That's a lot of damage they don't have. And Body is just fragging right now, getting a bunch of kills.
Oh my god!
3 kills! He might get the 4K here. Decides to recall, show some mercy, and get back to the point. Wow. Body there, by himself, getting 3 kills and pushing Powerhaus Prime all the way back. We're going to see Body here.
Such a good dive by Body.
Already has that Pulse Bomb in case he needs it. What target do you think he's going to get on this Loctite?
Probably gonna go for the Lucio here.
That's usually a good target. Lucio doesn't have anything to give. He hits the Pulse Bomb, doesn't get anything just yet. He's still just in the back. They're not turning on him, which is he's just gonna be able to farm this back up as the rest of the team does dive in. Body being such a nuisance this game on this Tracer.
Like a little mosquito, finding pick after pick, draining all the power and blood from Powerhaus Prime.
It's already on Fortunately for Powerhouse Prime, they're not even close to ults. I mean, Coalesce is back, but in terms of your other, Junkrat only has 60%, and Junkrat is one of those people you think, oh, he's gonna have Theyre every single time, but no. They're just doing such a great job at neutralizing the Junkrat, and he might go down again. He does.
Oh
Gunther
my
kills
God.
him. Jay Jonak online for Gunther as the Coalesce does come out here.
Oh my God, some great plays on this. Superior Pen can't even find any kind of damage to get that ult off or find any kind of kills.
Wombo here just trying his best to smash and crash with his hammer. He has wrist shatter, but there is a very angry monkey on him. He's going to solo the Winston. Maybe not exactly what you want, but maybe it's what they need here to win this point. The Graviton does come out, and it gets a few people. Maybe not enough, though. The trance comes out. Let's see if they can win it here.
Oh, but Body is being a real nuisance here. Just doing some major damage. But he's going to get taken out by the Moira and the Zarya together. And it's only Quiet Josh and Waya left on the point. But they just keep coming back. The stall is real.
Yeah, and they're going to be able to stall a little bit here, but it's not... Oh, they're still there. Lucio being that little mosquito, like you mentioned, just trying to suck the life out of his enemies. However, he won't be able to do that much, and it looks like Powerhouse Prime is going to be able to take control of this point. But at what cost?
94%. Ooh! Great job there from Kringe, but a great push there from Powerhouse Prime. But now we're going to start seeing the buildup of ults from the side of Kringe.
And it looks like they're going to go in here. The self-destruct does come out, but the sound barrier is there. But it kills Max. That's huge. Fosmax does get Gunther, but Body again in the back kills the Junkrat. That's a lot of damage they don't have anymore. And Body's going to be in the back just trying to poke him down. See if he can farm ulti once again. The High Noon does come out from the top. The huge shatter, though, on the point. Let's see if he can get anything done. Wombo combo does get Bofeki. Reaper Codex follows up on one. And it looks like Superior Pen's back in the fight just in time for them to be able to keep this point.
Oh, and Body quickly dashes off and into the abyss so that he can regroup with his team. Great job there from Superior Pen. I didn't even notice him coming back, and clearly Kringe didn't either.
Definitely Diva, they're not expecting for there to be a Junkrat there as he blows the mech and her up, but it looks like Body is around the back here. Maybe gonna try and backhand to break the defense. He is on the point just by himself. As the Graviton does come out here, it is pretty huge, and it gets a kill. One gets kill on the Wombo combo, that's the Reinhardt they don't have. Bofeki follows up onto Superior Pen with the Lucio boot. The self-destruct comes out, gets nothing so far. The Pulse Bomb comes back out, but Body is trapped here, he can't do anything, but he's still just doing frags. He doesn't need to move around.
No, Body pulling out immense amounts of damage, and Waya just following it up. Oh, and only 3% left, and we've got one with a massive zone for High Noon. And that will be the first map going to Kringe Espurts.
Yeah, great map there from Kringe Espurts. What'd you think about that one, Art?
Play of the game.
You know, I was happy to see Body really popping off there. I know Kringe is a strong team, and they showed it. I'm glad that we had a good fight coming out of Powerhouse as well, because it's always more fun to watch a close match, it seems like. And I'm curious to see, what they're going to do in the second one.
Yeah, it's interesting. It seems like the communication discrepancy isn't as bad as we might have thought. It seems like both the teams are pretty evenly matched in terms of how they've been playing. Both maps have been close. What were you thinking about Loctite there? What did you see that was really a turning point in a few of those games?
Well, we saw in the first two matches, we saw the Mercies, and there were some great reses coming in from Kringe Espurts, but I just feel they didn't have the kind of damage that they needed to overpower Powerhouse Prime on that second map. And then they switched it up. They got the DPS healers in, and they just had way too much damage to let Powerhouse Prime take it. And it was some great switches on their part.
Yeah, I really like to see Kringe Espurts operate the dive there with Body as well as Waya on the Winston there, and dive is such a Winston and Tracer. If you get Tracer gets them low enough, Winston will just come in and finish them off with his test the chasm, fry him. As it looks like we are going to be going to Route 66 here.
Route 66. I love this map. This was actually the map that I fell in love with my main Zarya.
Oh, this is a pretty good Zarya map. Yeah, this is a pretty good Zarya map. Gonna get in a lot of those chokeholds. You can get a lot of damage, a lot of charge with your bubbles onto people or onto your beautiful self. But what do you think they're gonna do here? It looks like I believe it's Powerhaus Prime who likes to run the Death Ball.
Death Ball. We actually, from my experience with these scrims, there's 3 types of comps I've seen on this map. There's been Death Ball, the main one I've seen. There's been Quad Tank. But then there's my favorite, the most fun one to cast. I mean, it's a bit painful to watch, but it's really fun. The Battleship.
Yeah, the Battleship is interesting. We usually only do see that on maps like in competitive Overwatch. We usually do only see that on maps like the name is Junkertown. There we go. Thank you. Junkertown is usually we see that as such an open map, but you're right. You could see it on maps like Escort here. Pirate Ship is a pretty easy, or not easy. It's a pretty straightforward way to run a comp, but we might see something here like a Sombra. We've been seeing that a lot recently with this map. As we can see, you can hack the health packs in some of the big health packs, like under big arrows or in the rooms. But looks like we might not be seeing that as we see Theyre on a Doomfist. I believe he's trolling us for the moment.
You always get the teams in here thinking that it's we're doing this live and that the other team can screen peek. That is not how we run things here.
Yeah, we run a tighter ship than that, but it looks like we are going to see Max here on the Sombra. Gonna just go and immediately just try and hack those 2 big health packs. How do you think Sombra here is going to be able to affect the gameplay for Powerhaus Prime?
Well, since they're going to be having the Sombra, they'll be able to play both on top and bottom pretty safely. If they need to drop down and lose the high ground, it won't be that much of a loss. While they won't have a super powerful high ground, they have a balanced kind of fight on both low and high.
And it looks like we're going to get started here as the team comes out. Kringe is going to be running a pretty normal dive comp here. Genji, Winston, Tracer, D.Va. Let's see how that's going to be able to work out, as they're going to be able to push the payload right now just a few feet as the teams feel each other out.
Yes, there's going to... First map, they're always going to be getting into the rhythm of things.
We're going to see Reaper Codex here try and get into the rhythm on this McCree, shooting the shield to try and break it down, maybe get a few caps out of this Peacemaker as the Genji dives out almost immediately, but McCree is such a good anti-dive here, and they end up killing Waya and Body. That's 2 dive heroes they don't have, as the hook does come out. Max in the backline trying to kill Gunter, but D.Va's defense matrix is going to be able to save him. And Reaper Codex here, still taking control of big girls.
A great defense there by Powerhaus Prime. They realized who they had to focus. Body and Waya just being a great nuisance here, diving in. So they just focused those 2 down immediately. Max with a huge EMP.
Yeah, as we talk about diving in, Max dives in with his EMP, manages to get a couple of packs onto people. Got, I think, 3 of them in there, and it looks like they might be able to hold this point, but the Dragon Blade does come out from 1, and there's not much here to deny him. It looks like Max is going to be able to just try and duel with Tracer. That's not a duel you want, as 1 ends up cleaning up, and maybe being able to put this for Cringe Espurts. He wants more!
Oh my god, 1 there with some great Dragon Blades. The Mercy is back though, but she's all alone, completely separated from her team. The positioning there, and uses ult to get back.
Yeah, that's definitely a win there for Cringe Espurts. You definitely don't want to see a Valkyrie used to escape as 1. We're gonna see here, just trying his best to do some more poke damage. He's just sitting in the back being good Genji. He tries to get hacks here, but eventually Max does go down to Gunter. That's hacks they don't have. As we see 1 here dive in onto the Orisa. Try and get another bit of poke damage here, as Max is going to be able to switch over to the Zenyatta, not playing on this Mercy. As the self-destruct comes out, and it looks like it's enough to zone them out. Also get Theyre and get them the payload.
Oh my god. Can I point out One and Body here? Diving in, getting the key picks, especially one there with his Dragon Blade that completely locked off Team Powerhouse Prime with those respawn timers.
Oh, and he gets superior pen on the stagger by himself in the back. That's something you never want to see. Your main tank die to a Genji, even out of Dragon Blade. That's going to be a stagger. They don't have superior pen anymore, and it looks like One is just going to be primed and ready, waiting to get this Dragon Blade out. As he does right here, goes straight after Max on the Zenyatta. He doesn't have strength, but it's maybe a little bit too overzealous there. Not much teammates around him, but Body does get wombo combo.
They're getting quite a few picks here on the DPS. Oh my gosh, Body following up all that damage that One had brought out with the Dragon Blade.
Self-destruct does come out here. It doesn't do much from Fosmax, and Fosmax might not even be an ult anymore, as we see a skirmish right here on the point. Valkyrie does come out. One does kill Fosmax off of the D.Va. That's something they don't have anymore. And Max does get Y, unfortunately, but it looks like Kringe Espurts in the DPS and their dive comp is going to be able to take this down. Just the Mercy and Valk left, and she's not going to be long for this world either, as she goes down to One. As she goes down to Body, rather. One getting superior pen, and it looks like they're going to be able to take the second point.
But Body and One have become one person. Oh my god, their dives together are just beautiful to watch.
Yeah, maybe we should call that One Body.
Exactly.
The one body combo
we talked about before the match is real.
Yeah, so it looks like we're gonna see Body here, just waiting to see if he can get a pick off of this pulse bomb. But speaking of pulse bombs, Reaper Codex does get Bofeki in the back line. That's a healer they don't have, and it looks like they're gonna try and maybe. It looks like Powerhouse Prime is gonna try and maybe push this out a little bit more, get a few picks, but they might need to be careful not to go too far, as Wombo combo's pretty low, dives out, and they're just gonna maybe just push back a little bit, hopefully not get staggered here.
Oh, and Body with the ult is gonna get Frostmanx out of Max. The ult is coming in from One, but Max is pulling out his ult, and it doesn't matter at all. Wyatt is finding huge ults in his rage.
Yeah, it was a good trank there from Mac, but unfortunately One wasn't the only one who they needed to kill. Wyatt, they're getting a bunch of kills with his Primal Rage, making that point go even further, and it looks like they're going to be able to, with both their support ults, and they might be able to push this to the win.
Without a doubt, and Wyatt diving in, but Superior Pen is going to bring out his ult, and it's going to get countered by Gunther on the Zenyatta.
Yeah, and it's two D.Va bombs at the same time. Fosman X gets 2 kills. It's why Quiet Josh only gets 1. Body gets Max Tower in the backline. Fosman X gets Waya, but they need to get to the payload. They need to get there. They're just pushing it by themselves. Wofeki and Body, they got it a few inches further, but Wofeki's not going to be able to dance anymore as he goes down. And it looks like they barely managed to not C9. That was a little bit too close for comfort.
Oh, yeah, my heart was pumping there. I didn't even notice it till you started getting excited, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, those are the worst. You don't want to see people spam C9 lol in the chat if you're on the opposite end of that. But Body here gonna be fighting against the Genji. Might be able to kill Superior Pen, but no, he gets enough healing. If he can, unless he's tracking his gods here, he might be able to get a pulse bomb here. Tries the Kobe fade away, doesn't do too much, and is gonna be trying to really just get on this Genji as One comes out with the Dragon Blade. Gonna go after the Mercy, doesn't get the dash reset, so he's just walking forward, but he gets Max. He might be able to get the Mercy here, but Body comes up and follows up. One Body definitely as they get the supports.
Holy crap, and the rest of the team is coming back here. Quiet Josh getting back into mech, and they're gonna punish this Winston. They keep trickling back out, but they're so squishy, they're just getting pushed off of the point. The Mercy's gonna try and stall it out, but she's got 4 people on her. It's not long for this world. But stalled out at 0 meters.
I don't know what happened there. It was at 0 meters and they didn't get it. Maybe that was a bug or something, but they eventually get it in the end. That would have been some shenanigans there if they had managed to hold at 0.00 meters. But they eventually get it with a decent time bank of 1 minute and 8 seconds.
Not too bad a job there from Kringe with that push, and I gotta give my compliments to the DPS there. Oh my god. the dive is real with those two.
Yeah, we were talking about it during the match. One body, one mind, one dive, as they say, as they just body in one, doing such a great job at executing that dive. And I also have to give credit to the tanks, because we usually just see the DPS crawl up on the kill feed, but the tanks are usually the ones who are getting them low enough where body in one can finish off the job.
That is very true. We saw Wyatt going in there pretty often, following up the DPS with that lightning gun, or even in that Zenyatta ult with that primal rage, and completely annihilating them. And we're going to be seeing a very similar comp coming from them on attack as well, with only one switching instead to Soldier instead of the McCree.
Yeah, and it looks like they might try and do some sort of a counter dive. I mean, one maybe isn't the best here to have on a Soldier, but I mean, on top of big Earls there, you can just sit there and do a lot of poke damage. But they don't have a shield, which is interesting, because usually you see teams sometimes just park it on top of big Earls and try to do some damage from the top. But it looks like they might just be planning for a counter dive here. Just let them push up and see what happens. But it looks like Superior Pen and Generate are going to be on the Theyre Mercy again, and we'll see how that works out.
Oh, but it's a good job that Kringe has got one on the Soldier there then, for a great counter to that.
Yeah, it's always good. One thinking, being one step ahead maybe of Powerhouse Prime, picking that Soldier, maybe thinking they might get a Theyre, and so they have the hit scan to counter. As we're going to see Superior Pen here, just trying to do a little bit of poke damage, readjusts with his Rocket E, which is always what you want to do as a Theyre. And they're just going to dive right in, try and dive, and see if they can get a kill right here. He's going far for it, and they end up getting one and Gunter at the same time, but unfortunately, Kringe Espurts is in the back line, and they didn't even notice, and they're just going to... They're a little bit too far. The payload is pushing backwards. Maybe they were a bit overzealous on the dive, not thinking about anyone else, but maybe they might be able to turn this around.
The Wombo combo just finding more and more picks on the low health heroes. Both teams trying to go for the back lines of the other team, but with the spawn advantages that Powerhaus Prime here has, it's the advantage to them.
Yeah, body goes down there. Unfortunately, Superior Pen, Tracer's really hard to play fair against unless she gets really low. As we're gonna see Superior Pen just try and poke him out, zone him out with the Theyre's rockets and the Mercy damage boost. If he gets a couple direct hits, it could be very bad. But it looks like Kringe Espurts is gonna try and get in as the Valkyrie is popped from Generate. Wombo combo getting really low, might go down here, but Valkyrie is so strong with his healing.
Reaper Codex immediately finding two picks, but Body is trying to follow it up. No, Reaper Codex is just shutting them down more and more. He brings out his ult, and Superior Pen follows it up. Oh my god, the ult from these DPS finding so much here.
Yeah, Reaper Codex, they're going huge, getting a couple of frags and a couple of kills. Gonna be able to take his teammates to the next point on that Genji, doing a great job there, getting all those kills he needed to, and finishing off the damage from Superior Pen, as it looks like Powerhaus Prime has found their vehicle to push this cart.
I feel Kringe really needs a shield tank here, like you mentioned earlier. They don't have one, but it is greatly needed. But they're gonna dive in, they're gonna find Max. One with the ult, but gonna get countered by Fox Max.
Yeah, we see Wombo combo here, gonna pop that Primal Rage and try and take a little bit of time away, or maybe even just get some kills. We saw him last game, he did a lot of damage on that monkey, but he's right here, he's just trying to boop and kill. One does get generated in the back, but Superior Pen is going to demech Quiet Josh, as we see Wombo combo. Gonna be able to get out of there with the monkey jump.
And one putting some great pressure onto the Theyre. I don't feel he was doing too great a job as Soldier, but he's shown us that he is competent with the McCree.
Yeah. Superior Pen here does have his ultimate ability. In case he wants to use it, maybe just gonna go for a quick Q onto their enemy team, see if they're gonna be able to do anything.
But Wombo combo out for blood. Did somebody say peanut butter? Oh my god, diving in, finding all the kills. Oh. Great job from Wombo combo.
Wombo combo definitely there wanting his peanut butter, thinking that all the DPS on the side of Kringe Espurts might be holding it for him. And it's going to be interesting if they're going to be able to try and Kringe is going to be able to try and counter this one last time. They're prepared for it. One does have the High Noon. Gunter has his trance. Maybe he doesn't want to use it right for this moment, but he might have to, and he does. He goes in with the trance. They're going to try and stop this here. As the self-destruct does come out, this is huge. It does get Wombo combo. That's a tank they don't have. Winston, no peanut butter for you in hell, as Max is going to be able to kill Body, but Wombo combo gets back up. Degenerate says, you can have your peanut butter, my friend. But one gets a double kill, kills the Theyre Mercy combo with one strip, and gets Reaper Codex as well. One might have single-handedly saved this point for them if he can just keep fragging. But Feelsbadman X is going to do his best to keep it going. Hits the self-destruct, but does go down. Body kills him before he can read mech, and it's just a lonely Wombo combo on the point. One gets him right before he can jump off, and it looks like Kringe Espurts is going to be able to hold.
Yeah, Wombo combo popping his ult there, trying to stall it out for his team. Angry he didn't get that peanut butter. Just denied it.
Yeah, that monkey is really likes his peanut butter, but it's alright for Powerhaus Prime. They do still have the Rocket Barrage and Max's Transcendence, but they do have to walk a pretty long way. And it looks like they're just going to try and go in. The Transcendence comes down, but it's low, and everyone else is on the high ground. That's not great. Another High Noon from one gets Reaper Codex, and one gets Max as well for Superior Pen. It manages to take him down as Waya, the Angry Monkey, comes in. Feelsbadman X is going to try his best to not die, but he gets demeched, and he just has the Bunny Blaster. It's just Superior Pen left on that Theyre with the Rocket Barrage. Might not even live to use it. It is not going to. And another great defense from Kringe.
Wow, great job there. And Quiet Josh finding 2 kills, 1 with mech, 1 out of mech. I always love seeing the long-ranged fights with the D.Va, finding like some just quick picks on the range with her little pistol. It's so funny to see.
Fortunately though, Quiet Josh is not back in mech, so if they manage to dive onto Quiet Josh, she's not going to have mech, and she's going to be a very juicy target and not going to be able to do anything. As we see Wombo combo just go in, Quiet Josh does end up remeching, which is good, but Body gets Max. Faz and Max gets 1. They don't have anything to counter Superior Pen on that Theyre anymore. Who has the barrage? Who uses it? It's getting eaten, but it's not enough. The self-destruct does come out. Both of them do, actually, at the same time. Faz and Max gets Waya. Superior Pen got both Becky. That's not. They might be able to push this all the way here, but Quiet Josh gets the Theyre, but is out of the mech. Max boops her back to the Shadow Realm, and it's just a lonely Body on the payload, and a lonely Gunter as well. Little bit interesting, but Gunter had the trance, and they might be able to do something here, but it doesn't look like it. They're just trying to maybe push it into overtime as best they can. The respawn advantage is in favor of Kringe Espurts here, as they're just throwing their bodies as best as they can. They need to get this, they need to stop this, or they're just feeding their ultimates, and they do end up losing this to Powerhaus Prime.
They did feed 3 ultimates into that fight, but we're seeing a lot of build-up. 3 more on the way from 1 Vofeki and Waya. So not too bad a loss there to push it right into overtime.
Yeah, you're right, definitely. It wasn't that bad of a loss. Reaper Codex had to use the Dragon Blade there to secure that point, as we see one here has the High Noon, probably saving it for the Valkyrie to get both the Theyre and the Mercy, but in this tight corridor, there's a lot of places she can hide behind it. It might not be the best thing.
And he's gonna pop it, but Winston Bubble's gonna come out, and D.Va's gonna follow it up. Gonna knock her out of mech.
Yeah, the self-destruct came out there but it was probably just to remech herself. Didn't work out as well as they thought. A Superior Pen is gonna get a kill on Waya here, and Vofeki is just gonna try and charge down the enemy team. Gonna just pull back with his teammates, give them a little bit of music loving, and we're gonna see him with his sound barrier in case things get a little bit too spicy in the next round. And this might be one of the last fights that Powerhaus Prime has.
One of the last fights, 18 seconds on the clock. They're making their push. They don't have too many ults to follow this up, but they do have the Valkyrie, which is huge.
Valkyrie does come out, but Superior Pen does go down. That's huge. And sound barriers, both sound barriers come out. The Reaper Codex is going to try his best to do some damage. He can't do a lot. He doesn't have Blade yet, and he's at 86%. He might go down here. Body gets Feelsbadman X out of mech, and it's just the High Noon does come out here. Let's see if he can do anything. It doesn't, but Body, Wyatt kills Feelsbadman X, and Vofeki kills his partner in Max on the Lucio. The Dragon Blade comes out, but he's all alone. Maybe not enough healing. He's doing his best. He can't get max, but he dies, and that's a huge loss for them. No Reaper Codex, and it looks like they might be able to zone them off the point entirely. Kringe Espurts taking our second map here.
2-0 in favor of Kringe Espurts. One body being super powerful, and we're gonna see one here in the play of the game. Ooh, some great tracking there. It's high noon for him.
Yeah, great use of the high noon there to kill the Theyre and the Mercy. Always a little bit of a squirrely bunch to see in the sky, but once you hit that Q and see those beautiful little red skulls on them, you do pop pop and they're all dead. What'd you think of that one, Ark?
You know, I thought I was not expecting quite so strong of a hold, actually. I thought Powerhaus looked...
I was gonna have to think of something, because this is their Scrim Knight's life on the line, so to speak. As if they lose this one, they're gonna have to lose the series. So hopefully they'll be able to find something that works. It looks like they've been trying a few different things, bringing out the Theyre and the Mercy. Worked a little bit, but not too much to fruition for a win. Loctite, what do you think we're gonna see?
Well, with this map, we've been seeing a lot of two types of comps. We've been seeing a lot of dive, which we have been seeing a lot from Powerhaus Prime these last few matches, and we've been seeing a lot of quad tank, which Kringe seems to favor.
We're going to see how they're going to be able to do this here, as we got a few troll picks on the way from Kringe Espurts, you know, making us think that, oh, we may actually get Torbjorn in Sim, but then they're just going to be able to take it away from us at the end, as we're only 15 seconds away from this starting. We're going to see dive coming out from Powerhaus Prime, it looks like. Anti-dive, actually.
And a Widow. Ooh, this is either going to go very badly, or we're going to have some great commentation source material here.
Yeah, we always love that commentation source material, as you say, and we're going to see Reaper Codex here getting some sightlines. A little interesting that she's not up top on the perches where you usually see her on that building, but Superior Pen here on the Junkrat, just going to try and do a lot of damage as we see Reaper Codex again. You know, just going to try and feel out where they are, see if they can get any sightlines at all, as looks like they're just, not much is happening so far.
No, both teams are waiting it out, seeing what the other team is, maybe just holding their little tab keys to find out who's who.
Body here's going to be on the top, trying to do a little bit of damage. Has the Mercy to pocket her, as Body does get a few shots in, as one is going to go into the back and try and kill. Oh, he gets the Mercy. That's huge. Denerate is down. They don't have any res. One being a nuisance in the backline to that Mercy. Our Superior Pen does get Wyatt on it, but Body does demech Fosmax, as one is still in the backline trying his best to do stuff. He has his pulse bomb ready if he needs it. He uses it and gets a kill, and it looks like they might be able to take this point here.
A great dive there from Kringe. Amazing job. Powerhaus Prime pushing in a dive, but then you had half the team heading back to the point to try and defend it. It was so split up that when the other three went back to the point to try and defend it as well, the other three that went to defend it first had already died.
So we're going to see Body again on this Widow, trying to maybe get click on a few heads, as we see sometimes, as she's just on the top trying to get a few damage off. We see Superior Pen on the Drunkard doing his best to try and get that splash AoE damage, get out those grenade mines to try and, yes, his tire in case he needs it. Bofeki goes down though, but it looks like Team Kringe is still pretty far ahead in the kill count. Fosman X does go down, and it looks like we might be just seeing a battle here on the end of the point, as we usually see on these types of maps, where we just see two teams brawl it out.
Oh, and Fosmax has been knocked out of mech. That's horrible, and a pick will be brought about by Quiet Josh. Reaper trying to get in some damage to no avail with the Lucio ult. They're trying to stall it out so fast. They got spawn advantage, but they're dying one after another. Kringe is getting their team together. They're making this push.
The Valkyrie does come out here, can maybe keep a few people up, and Wyatt gets a kill on Max. It's another healer they don't have. Wyatt gets Reaper Codex. Wyatt going absolutely ham right now on this Winston, gets the Primal Rage on. Quiet Josh does get demexed by the tire, but it might not mean anything. as it looks like they're just going to keep trying to win this point. They're just trying their hardest to stop anything. As feelsbadman X gets a double kill, Vofeki and one down. This might be what they needed to stop this point, and wow, it looks like they're going to be able to actually defend this. Huge defense there coming out from Kringe Espurts.
Nonetheless, a great job from Kringe. Ooh la la. 56.5%. Not too bad for a snowball.
Yeah, Kringe here gonna try and just do their best to get all of their get all the time that they can knocked off Powerhaus Prime as Powerhaus Prime, doing their best to maybe try and see what they can do to break this defense. This Reaper Codex does have his ult, but he needs to live right here, not die. As we see the D.Va at the bottom does have the self-destruct, and then we're gonna go back to one who's gonna just flank around and try and get some damage onto the Winston, charge up that pulse bomb with his tanks, and maybe get this Mercy if they're lucky. They're not lucky, as Wyatt does get superior pen, but doesn't get the sports they were searching for. Theyre's gonna res superior pen. Reaper Codex gets Wyatt, feelsbadman X, D-Mex, Quiet Josh, and it looks like we're gonna be able to see another escape here.
Oh, and the bully onto Quiet Josh. This is just a sad sight to see.
Ooh, one got maxed there. That's something you definitely don't want to see there.
But with the spawn advantage, was the Tracer ult worth it?
Tracer ult you can just farm back up onto the tanks pretty easily, but it is something you would probably rather have later than just at that one point where you have Max just sitting there. And it looks like Powerhaus Prime is going to do their best to try and stop again, but it looks like the Sound Barrier and the Genji ult is going to come out at the same time, but there is Reaper Codex here with his Death Blossom ready in case he needs it. He might not need it right now. He's just trying to maybe demech the D.Va first. Goes in the Wraith farm, getting healed by that Mercy. Is just going to try and do his best with his shotgun. Still getting healed. Big Winston at him. He's going to try and kill him too. Getting so much damage off that Winston, even though he's in monkey form. And it looks like they're going to have to do another reset there.
Yeah, Kringe here is getting some great dives and they're getting some great picks. But with Powerhaus Prime having not only the spawn advantage, but the ult advantage in these fights, it just keeps going in their favor rather than Kringe's.
Yeah, as you mentioned, ult economy very important in this game, as Kringe Espurts only has one ult available to their name. They might have Vofeki's Transcendence available at the end, but they're just going to try and dive in again. Quiet Josh with the only ult, and they need to. Wyatt is very low here. He needs to live. One has this pulse bomb, uses it, doesn't to get anything, not to fruition. As the defensive Lucio Sound Barrier comes out, as Reaper Codex is trying his best to just get a lot of damage. The self-destruct doesn't come out. Superior pen is switched to the Death Blossom comes out here, doesn't do anything as the trance was perfectly timed for him not to do anything. And it looks like they might be able to push this. The respawn advantage is in favor, though, of Powerhaus Prime. The High Noon comes out, gets killed by Quiet Josh Micro Missile. Wyatt kills Reaper Codex, and the Sound Barrier does come out. They're just trying to maybe secure this point. Wyatt doing his best, can't do anything. One is in the back line trying to frag as best he can. Almost has Pulse Bomb again. Gonna try and demech D.Va here on the Reaper, on the Mercy. Doomfist comes out here as well, and one is just trying his hardest to try and make sure that they don't get this point.
One fragging out, finding all the picks on the board, but Vex finally finds a pick for the side of Powerhaus Prime on a max, but it's not looking good at all for Kringe. Body with the Pharaoh ult coming out, putting out some huge damage.
Body putting out a lot of damage, and it might be enough for them to get this point. There's just one contestant on the point now, but they got off of it. Unfortunately, they did Kringe Espurts. They need to get back on this. Reaper Codex is there. Ults are flying out everywhere. Bodies are flying everywhere as Body kills Max on the Lucio. They're gonna need another Lucio. Sound Barrier comes out from Gunter, and it's the second one this fight. Wyatt kills Theyre, and it looks like they might be able to have this. They're still just trickling in. The self-destruct, they need to shield this somehow, and it looks like they might be able to get this finally. It's 5-1, and there's no one else on the point as Kringe Espurts finally takes this point.
Kringe Espurts, everybody on fire. Great jobs all around. Not really anybody too much sticking out in my mind there in that fight. It was just in all a great team fight from Kringe.
It's very hard to follow those fights as as those fights get really hectic at the end there. It's just alt after alt after alt coming in. People just trickling in as best they can, trying to get a lot of time off. And they did do a good job, Powerhaus Prime. They did manage to stop them at 75 seconds. Less than a minute is always good, what you like to see on 2CP, but hopefully Kringe is gonna hopefully Powerhaus Prime is not gonna fall the same victim as Kringe and take all that time off the second point.
That is very true, but if they didn't, would it be a pain? I'd like to see the game go to 4-4 because that is very nice, but to see this game go to 6-6, such a back and forth that it leaves a salty taste in my mouth for 2CP.
Yeah, it might not be good for our voices, Loctite, if we have to go to 6-6 on this type of map, and it looks like gonna see a little bit of trolling here again coming out from Kringe Espurts on that. Symmetra Y is just gonna run back to the point, run back to home and switch out. But Theyre is gonna be on this Doomfist. I doubt this is gonna be what they run, but it actually could be. I mean, they do like this quad tank, but it might be Powerhaus Prime gonna run this meatball. I think Theyre might switch over to the Moira here.
Yeah, with a quad tank, you need that Moira. That Coalescence with 4 tanks standing right in front of it is just way too powerful to give up. And you are going to see that switch from Theyre as they begin their push here.
Yeah, this is what you expect. You expect the Moira meatball if you see those 4 tanks. Moira is such a great job at dealing and healing all of those people as they're going to just walk right on the point, not stopping on ceremony here. They're just going to run it. But a huge anti-nade is going to be able to get 3 people. What an actually great anti-nade from Vofeki there. Maybe single-handedly wiping out the entire team. Reaper Codex not going to be long for this world at all. And it's just feelsbadman X on this on this Baby Diva, and they're going to do a little bit of BM here. And it's what a great counter to this quad tank.
I gotta say, every time I've seen a quad tank and they get set up on that point, I've never seen anybody counter it, but that Anna-nade might just be the answer to that setup. With the quad tank, you get the big meaty things that get the heals and they can't ever die, but with the Anna, you can't heal them anymore.
Here, it looks like they're gonna go right, and feelsbadman X tried to dive onto the Anna, knowing that's their worst enemy. As the High Noon does come out, you hear the ringing of the High Noon, and he's just gonna hold it, see if he can do anything. He gets stunned and killed, but he does. He punches Roadhog in the gut. That's not gonna be a Roadhog who's gonna be around there anymore. Go back to Australia, my friend, as you are gonna have to head back home. And it looks like they might be able to hold it here, but wait, Prime does have the Coalesce and the Zarya. They do have the respawn advantage as well. The Transcendence does come out, but Reaper Codex gets stuck by body, and it looks like they're gonna have to take their bodies back to home.
Gotta say, one body pulling out some great things here, and Gunther with that Transcendence to block out the Moira ult there. A bit of a waste, but then again, with the Degenerate being on Moira, Moira gets her ult back so fast that it doesn't really matter.
Superior Pen got Vofeki, that's huge. They don't have a healer anymore, but Body did get Degenerate. Quiet just got mexed. These quad tanks don't have any healers anymore. They're just all alone by themselves. No self-sustain except for Roadhog's Flask, and he just needs to use it the best he can. They're trying their hardest. As Quiet Josh does get hit and picked, he does have the self-destruct if he needs it. He uses it, but just barely can't get it up in the air all the way, as Body does get him the kill with Superior Pen. Quiet just kills feelsbadman X out of mech, and it's just Body here trying to kill as many bodies as he can. Maybe gonna get this Lucio, but the Moira healing is just too much, and it looks like they're gonna be able to hold once again. You gotta switch it up here a little bit for Powerhaus Prime, maybe.
Yeah, they're just getting countered one after another, and they are going to see that switch coming in. No longer running the quad tank. We've got Reaper Codex on the Widow and Superior Pen on the Genji.
They might just run full dive here. That might be a little bit better. Get a lot more damage out as they can, as Reaper Codex is going to be in the back. Not really in a position to get anything on that little payload over there, and he's not going to be in the fight. As the self-destruct does come out here, it's just waiting, and it does get Gunter and Vofeki. The healers are down for the side of Kringe Espurts. That's not good at all. Why is in the back trying to kill Reaper Codex, but he needs to be on the point, my son. You can't be out there just on a Widow. And he's going to come back with his monkey form, but he's not going to be anything. He's just going to be dead immediately. However, he did. Maybe he is taking a little bit of time away, as one does demech feelsbadman X, but Vexonus is just going to be able to kill Wyatt, and that's going to be the point for them, I assume.
And with 30 seconds left on the clock, not too bad a stall from Kringe Espurts. 4 minutes left for Powerhaus Prime to take the second point.
Yeah, they're going to have to take this point here pretty quickly, and we'll see if they're gonna get the same fate that Kringe Espurts had, as just holding this point where they can't even do anything. They just have to keep holding and holding and holding. But Superior Pen is gonna have the Dragon Blade. Hopefully, just gonna think I can just hit this Dragon Blade, kill everyone, and we won't even have to be here for that long. Its body does have his pulse bomb ready. Gonna flank around so you can get any catches.
And they're gonna push in with the Moira ult. A great job from Degenerate there on the push. They're gonna find 2 picks, but with spawn advantage, still pretty huge. They're gonna pull out the Genji ult here. They're gonna get 1. And Vexinus on the Winston is gonna show which monkey is superior here.
Yeah, and here we've started the trickle in, and we've started the fight that's going to be on the second point. 2 CP lull is in full effect, my friends, as 1 gets superior pen. Vopeki kills Fosman X, and it looks like a monkey is also down. It's just 1 trying to save his team, and maybe the Moira is also going to go down. The Irish Lash is not long for this world anymore, as she goes down as well, and it looks like Kringe Espurts is going to be able to do what Powerhaus Prime did to them and save another few seconds off that clock.
And a shave it'll be. Quite the close cut. Only 3 minutes left. They've lost a minute and a half off of that first take of the first point.
If you're Powerhaus Prime now, you need to not panic. You still have the advantage. You still have 3 minutes around. Oh, but body kill Superior Pen. That's not good. Their DPS is down. That's huge. And Dragon Blade comes out from 1 here, and 1 gets max. Degenerate is also down. 1 is just going to slice and dice as best he can. Gets a double kill, and is going to be able to push them back even further. Powerhaus Prime, and 1 gets Fosman X also. Gets that kill, not letting her get back into spawn. And another great defense here from Kringe Espurts.
Gotta say, 1 here with those picks. A great time crunch for Powerhaus. They've lost so much time here on these pushes. They're going right side again. They're leading in with another Moira ult, but they're getting so split up here.
Yeah, they got really split up. Reaper Codex is all by himself. He just has Wraith Form, and he's getting healed. He does have his Q in case he wants to use it now. He's going to keep holding it, but he holds it too long, and he's not going to end up using it at all. Goodbye, Reaper, as Fosman X is going to get juggled in the side over there. The Dragon Blade does come out from Superior Pen, gets the Zenyatta as he hoped, but he is not going to be long for this world either, as Vopeki is going to kill Fosman X, and it looks like Kringe Espurts, again, as we said, great defense on their part, and Powerhaus Prime, you got to figure out what to do at this point.
I really think they can't be pushing right side here. They try and push right side, but then a bit of their team will push to the right, a bit of their team will push to the point, and that split is just what Kringe is noticing and hoping for when they dive all like 5 people onto 3 people, and it's a slaughterhouse from there on. But 1's gonna pull out his ult, and so is Reaper Codex, but it's red filling the chat here.
Yeah, red lights up the scoreboard here and the kill feed as we see 1. Another Dragon Blade, maybe gonna get this D.Va stagger. D.Va can't be staggered here. That's huge if she's staggered. That's absolutely awful. They only have a minute left. That's going to sink into their time a little bit more, and they might only have 1, maybe 2 more pushes at this. They brought out the pharmacy now. Superior Pen going to try and do some damage, as they don't have any counter hit scan for this Theyre. This Theyre is going to have to be huge here by Superior Pen.
And we have seen quite a bit from the Theyre, but they're going to get picked off by 1, and Body's going to find a post bomb on the max.
And that's going to be the end of the fight there, probably, as Body gets maxed with the pulse bomb. Superior Pen dying to the Genji. You never want to see a Genji kill your Theyre, especially when you have a Mercy, as they're just going to push him straight back into their spawn. They just want to play the game, Kringe Espurts. Let them play the game. They might not be able to, as they're just going to push him back all the way. 10 seconds, he ticks down. 9 seconds, 8 seconds. They need to jump onto the payload right now. Superior Pen has to go. They have to go now as the Dragon Blade comes out, as the self-destruct does as well. No kills. 1 does get a kill onto Reaper Codex. Vopeki kills his partner in max, and it looks like Wyatt is going to get Superior Pen. Winston kill it being a hit scan for this point, and it looks like that's going to be it. Kringe Espurts is going to be able to take this map and take a commanding 3-0 win in the series.
My God, a great job there from Kringe Espurts.
Play of the game.
And great job there as we see Kringe Espurts. We see Body of Kringe Espurts here with his Tracer play, which has been immaculate so far, getting the play of the game. Art, what do you think about that one, my friend?
You know, I thought that Kringe just solidly shut down Powerhaus in that. You saw Body popping off again. You saw Waya doing a lot of work as well. You know, there was a lot of good plays, and it was just none of the damage was really coming out of Powerhaus. They didn't have the right setup. They didn't have the right combinations. They didn't have the right teamwork to, you know, really get those effective kills. And, you know, they paid for it there. Kringe just had, you know, what it took to play together, and they had the momentum and they kept it. So that led them to a pretty solid victory in that round. And, you know, in the past rounds as well, in the past matches, or past games in this match, I should say, they obviously showed they had what it took. And Powerhaus is going to have to change something up here. There's some piece of the puzzle, some cog that's not turning correctly, and it may be a comp, it may be a strategy, it may be communication, maybe a player, who knows. But we'll see if they can tighten that up on this last one. I'm going to assume they're going to play a fourth here.
Yeah, and we'll see how it is on the fourth map, as you say, as they do already have the win, but these teams definitely just want to screen and play some more games, as we are suggesting. But Loctite, is there anything that caught your eye in these past 3 games? As we talked about earlier, is how these teams have been together at various times. Powerhaus Prime has only been together for 2 months, whereas Kringe Espurts has been together for 8. Did you see any of that kind of trickle into the gameplay that we've seen so far?
Well, you know, definitely we saw a lot of combos there from Wyatt and Body on Kringe Espurts' side. They really know when to dive together, and clearly they've been talking with one who is new to the team. Even though they haven't been together that long, they know exactly when to dive together. One fitting right into the team like he's been there since the beginning. And even with Powerhaus Prime, you have Fosmanx just following up any of the DPS that go in as the diva and thrashing around all the low health heroes. We've seen so many picks coming in from them, 2Ks and 3Ks, that have led entire pushes. They definitely have the teamwork down on both sides. I just feel Kringe Espurts has been together just a bit longer and have a tighter coordination.
Yeah, that is. I agree with what you said there. The communication and coordination is such a big part of this game. As executing dive is such a communication based thing. As you need to call out like who's low, who you're diving on, etc., etc. So if you see a team that's a little bit more comfortable with each other, it might be a lot better for them to execute something like that. As we see, I guess we are going to go to a fourth map here. We're going to see King's Row. One of my favorite maps. I absolutely love this map.
And I would have to agree with you there.
Yeah. It's
King's Row is just that map that you feel at home with.
It's okay, Ark. We're here for you. They're gonna have to make it to the point just now and set up their defense, as we're only 3 seconds away. As Body's gonna go around and try and get some damage onto the back line.
And Body has done a great job of that so far. But Vofeki is going to follow up on Wombo Combo's low health. But it's such a slaughterhouse for Body and one. Oh, Blue is just filling the chest.